Back into the 80s, for that matter, also Friday. I'm KIRO 7 pinpoint meteorologist Nick Allard.
It is 68 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Ursula Royteen.
Subscribe to us on YouTube for our can't miss clips. KIRO Radio 97.3 FM. News and talk, powered by the Pacific Northwest.
The Big Lead is brought to you by 3010 Weight Loss for Life.
The Dori Monson Show on KIRO Radio. This is The Big Lead.
Coming to you from the Carter Subaru studio, streaming on Facebook Live. Welcome to the big show. Do you know what it's like, Ursula, to be a talk show host, to know exactly what I'm going to say the second I turn on my mic, and literally, as I'm about to say it, Nicole says, "Oh, by the way, you can't say that."
I just witnessed that.
Do you
As
know
I was wrapping up my
like?
news, it's a panic moment. It's like, wait, what?
It's not a panic moment. It's just incredibly frustrating because I knew exactly how I was going to open the show. I knew exactly what I was going to say. And then Nicole goes, "Oh, by the way, you can't make sure you don't say that."
And it's something you can
not
say?
in the plan, so you have another plan.
Oh, I have a whole
You
plan.
had just planned to ad lib, and I
had
denied
just
that.
During Ursula's newscast, I had just crafted exactly how I was going to open the show, and then you come in and say, "By the way, you can't say that."
Well, you can say it later in the show, so it won't be crafted
Stay
for
tuned.
no reason.
Stay tuned. Something big that was about to happen will happen.
Oh, man. What a start. Okay. Welcome to the big show. I got to talk about this prolific offender. I mean, this is just unbelievable. Who threw a cup of coffee on a 2-year-old and is going to get another slap on the wrist. It's unbelievable. But before I get to that, I can't believe that nobody else in the media has covered this. It is a Dori Monson Show exclusive.
The Big Lead. Dori Monson Show exclusive.
Okay, so Jay Inslee, I don't know if you realize this, but he is going to be the next president of the United States. And Jay Inslee, the theme has been, we need more wind power. We need wind turbines. By the way, it makes me crazy when you drive by the wind turbines and people call them windmills. They're not milling anything. They're just wind turbines. But Jay Inslee, he had one line that he just was using over and over and over and over on MSNBC about the wind turbines.
We cannot give power to Donald Trump, who says wind turbines cause cancer. We know they cause jobs. We're going to get that job done.
They don't cause cancer, they cause jobs. Could you rephrase that, Governor?
Donald Trump is wrong. Wind turbines don't cause cancer. They cause jobs.
Well, that's a clever turn of a phrase, but do you have another way of phrasing it?
And Donald Trump can tweet. He can say, wind turbines cause cancer all he wants, but we know they cause jobs.
Well, there's one other thing that wind turbines cause, apparently. Wildfires. A wildfire in southern Washington state caused by melting sections of a wind turbine that fell to the ground after the turbine's generator caught fire has now been more than 30% contained. According to fire officials, this happened in Bickleton in Klickitat County Saturday afternoon. How has nobody reported this? That the wind turbines that Jay Inslee has been obsessed with started a wildfire. Now, the nice thing is the other wind turbines can just blow all the smoke away once the fire starts. But the fire officials say that the wildfire is 242 acres. Gosh, Governor, you're the one who told us about all the problems of wildfires and how we got to move to cleaner energy. How has nobody reported? This happened on Saturday. We just found out about it today. That Jay Inslee's beloved wind turbines are responsible for a wildfire here in Washington state. I wish I could make up stuff that good, but reality is better than anything that comes out of my fertile mind.
Our kids can't go out and go swimming, for goodness sakes.
Yeah, because of the wind turbine, you can't go to the old fishing hole, for goodness sakes, in Klickitat County because the wind turbine started a wildfire there. It's hilarious. It's just so good.
They deserve better than a smoky future. They deserve lungs that breathe clean Washington air.
You should be ashamed of yourself, Governor. Okay, next up in the big lead.
The Big Lead, Bizarro World.
This story of Francisco Calderon, it's unbelievable. And I don't know what it's going to take, but something tragic's going to happen. Either somebody's going to be killed by this guy, or somebody who carries personal protection is going to kill this guy when he commits another crime. But you know the story by now. We told you about it a little bit yesterday. He was let out of jail on Thursday. He'd gotten a misdemeanor assault conviction. This is a guy who's been convicted of assault 14 times. He has over 70 total convictions, including property crimes, drug possession, theft, and on and on and on it goes. So Francisco Calderon just got out of jail on Thursday. 2 days later, he walked into the Gap store on Fifth Avenue, downtown Seattle. 8 o'clock in the evening. There was a family from out of state visiting, and they were pushing their 2-year-old boy in a stroller. And Calderon came up to the stroller once, and then again, just multiple times. He kept walking around this 2-year-old toddler in the stroller. And finally, the Gap kicked Calderon out of the store. So what does he do? He starts screaming at passersby on the street. According to the police, he grabbed a woman. He tried to start a fight with another random person. And then he grabbed a cup of coffee from someone on Pine Street. When the family that had been inside the Gap with the 2-year-old in the stroller, when they walked by, Calderon took the lid off the coffee cup and threw the coffee into the 2-year-old baby's face. The boy's father, who is military or ex-military, he started fighting with Calderon. There was a Kittitas County Sheriff's deputy off duty downtown. He detained Calderon until Seattle police arrived. So Calderon's going to appear in court today. King County prosecutor has already reduced it from a felony because the coffee wasn't hot enough to burn or injure the child. And so they've kicked it to Seattle court, where our weed-loving city attorney, Pete Holmes, he's going to adjudicate this as a misdemeanor, which means that Calderon will get yet another slap on the wrist. He will be walking around free in no time, and within a few days of his next release, he will once again assault somebody on the street, as is his pattern. What is it going to take? And I mean that the guy's been convicted 72 times. 15 times he's been convicted of assault. He's obviously mentally ill, but Jay Inslee has let the mental health system in our state deteriorate to where it's useless. But it is time to remove Francisco Calderon from society. And, if you were listening to Ursula's newscast at the top of the hour, the guy's family is begging prosecutors to keep him locked up. This is his sister, Anna Calderon Barnett.
The last time Frankie had assaulted somebody, I had spoken with his defense attorney during that case, and I believe it was a deputy prosecuting attorney. And what I walked away with from that is that Frankie it's almost like trying to force a circle into a square. And the approach that they were hoping to use is just that it just doesn't seem right to me, because my brother is severely mentally ill, and while he does use drugs and has a history of drug use, that's not the core of the problem. The core of the problem is that he is mentally ill.
And she says that, of course, her brother is walking around every day just looking for laws to break.
He knows he's not capable of taking care of himself, and he knows that he doesn't have the mental capacity to fit in, and he just attacks people, or he'll commit some kind of a crime because he knows that the next step is, I will be taken off of the street.
And she says that and this is his sister, and when blood reaches this sad conclusion, she says that her brother is unfixable.
His last words to me from prison were, I don't want to go back out there. I don't know how to live. And he's right. And I think this is what's being overlooked. You may have more success with somebody who is, taking initiative and reaching out and really embracing these rehabilitation programs. But then you have somebody like Frankie who's not, and he's not going to, because his mind is just, he's had too much trauma, too much drug use.
And she says you cannot put him back out on the streets, as we did last Thursday, only for him to throw coffee in a toddler's face.
She had explained to me that they were considering bail or releasing him, and I said, absolutely not. He is not safe to be returned to the community, and that would be irresponsible to do that. So I'm worried for his safety, and I'm worried for the people that are out there in the community, and it's not the right thing to do.
So his sister knows this, but the people who we pay to help protect us are prosecutors. They refuse. They refuse to find a way to keep this guy locked up. Now, you might remember, Calderon was at the center of an issue several months ago when the prosecutors were going to just release him, give him a slap on the wrist for one of his 72 convictions. And Judge McKenna, he said, no, we can't keep playing catch and release with this guy. And Calderon's sister says, of course the judge is absolutely right.
It is his job to say, no, this is not correct, and we need to go back to the table on this. I cannot put this person out into the community because the potential of harming others is there. And he is correct. I don't want to see my brother lynched. I don't want to see my brother treated unfairly, but I think he deserves better than what he's getting.
So here's what's going to happen. And what is it going to take? Is it going to take I hate even articulating these words. Is it going to take the child of one of these, the prosecutor, the city attorney? Is it going to take one of their kids being assaulted? I mean, if they don't care about somebody else's 2-year-old getting coffee thrown in their face, and what's going to happen is Calderon's going to, seriously, permanently injure or kill somebody. Or, as I said, there are some dads that some crazy guys running at your kid with what you think is a cup of hot coffee to throw it in the kid's face. There are some dads who would pull out a weapon and kill that guy right there on the streets of downtown Seattle. This dad wasn't armed. His name's Daynard Butler, the father of the 2-year-old. And he told Channel 4, ComoNews.com, that first he saw Calderon harassing random women.
And I'm thinking to myself, if he does something to this lady, I'm going to have to step in because she's by herself.
And then suddenly the guy turned and attacked his baby.
He did a crescent turnaround, was saying something, grabbed his coffee, and just threw it in my son's face. To me, I didn't know the coffee was boiling hot. I didn't know anything. All I know is he tossed it in my kid's face. And as a father, I protected my kid.
And yes, and this guy, Daynard Butler, I saw pictures of him. He looks like he's pretty well put together. He's a military guy. They're visiting Seattle. They're just here for a visit. And he took down Calderon.
I went straight for him and hit him with right, straight straight to the face. Bam. I was very mindful of the situation. After a couple of blows, I knew I couldn't kill him. You know what I mean?
Wouldn't you be tempted? Wouldn't you be tempted if you thought somebody had scalded your 2-year-old to deliver a blow that could be deadly? I mean, this guy showed restraint because as well put together as Dad is, he could have killed the guy. I know he could have, but he didn't. And like I said, there was that off-duty Kittitas sheriff's deputy who helped hold the Calderon until Seattle police arrived. But the dad is asking the question that every one of us should be asking.
To me, I don't understand, why the 73 convictions that he's out. It almost, to me, he was looking for a way to get arrested. He was looking for a way to get back to jail. That's to me how it looked to me.
So, what's it going to take? When a guy has 72, and now it'll be 73 convictions, and this one gets bumped to a misdemeanor because the coffee wasn't hot enough to have injured the 2-year-old. I'm guessing his intent was certainly to injure, maybe blind the 2-year-old. I don't know if Calderon knew how hot the coffee was. But he's out of his mind. And as Jay Inslee goes gallivanting all around the country telling us what a great president he would be, when you look at what's happening on the streets of his biggest city in the state, when you understand how our mental health system has disappeared under his watch, when you look at our prosecutors and their absolute inability or undesire, I don't even think that's a word, to keep somebody like this locked up, what's it going to take? It's going to take the trauma of a citizen having to stop this guy with a gun? Are they going to wait until he kills somebody and then they'll finally lock him up? What is it going to take? And that is your big lead for today.
The Big Lead on KIRO Radio.
Maybe we need a change at the very top. The police chief in Republic, Washington is going to announce on my show this afternoon that he's going to run for governor. We will talk to him next, see if he's got what it takes to be a freedom-loving governor in a state that seems to hate freedom. I'll talk to Police Chief Lauren Culp next on the Dori Monson Show.